Most of us would have interacted with a chatbot at some point during their interaction with a brand. And this video helps you understand the benefit of using a chatbot for communication. Let me start by sharing an experience I recently had. I had requested a professional consultation with a business, and for some reason the talk did not happen. I wanted to inform the company about it and tried calling them. I called out of business hours, so no one responded. I wrote to them through an email and I received a response from them only after a few days. By the time someone from their company understood my problem and called me, I was already disappointed by their service, and I'm sure most of you would have faced an experience like this. There are scenarios where the trust between a customer and a business breaks, and here are some numbers in a B2B landscape for context. Frustration with unresponsive brands on social or email grew by 5.7 times since 2019. And frustration with services feeling impersonal grew 2 times since 2019. Also, the frustration with lack of services outside operating regular hours grew by 1.4 times since 2019. From these numbers, I make sense that timely communication is the key to establishing a good relationship with a customer. And this is where the chatbot comes in, reducing or eliminating the communication gap. So what is a chatbot? A chatbot mimics human interaction by understanding and responding to the queries of a person. We will explain how this works in a while. Chatbots are changing the way customers interact with a brand or a business. From answering frequently asked questions to respond to specific issues, chatbots can provide exemplary support. Going back to the question of how they work, there are 3 steps involved in the communication process, just the way people interact. Chatbots understands the request of the user or the customer, analyzes the request to identify relevant data required in order to respond to the request, and then finally respond to the request. Let's dive slightly deeper into understanding the process better. The way chatbots understand and analyze the requests can be of 2 types. 1. A rule-based. Users inquire about a specific and structured request, which you may assume to be in a form of a decision tree. And depending on the inputs that the user provides, the bot better understands the problem and responds logically. These rule-based bots are mostly used to answer frequently asked questions that the customer have or the queries that do not need many input data. So for example, you could initiate a conversation with the bot, ask them about your delivery status or cancel your order. These are the requests that the bot can easily handle. Second is a conventional bot. These bots are much smarter than the rule-based bots, understanding the language of the user and responding to them in the same vocabulary. For these bots to understand the complex queries, they leverage natural language processing, that is the NLP, and the machine learning, get trained over the vast user data, which helps them generate data from multiple sources and predict the outcomes to answer to specific queries for the users. You could also talk to these bots as if you're talking to a human support, and it would answer your queries accordingly. All this is good, but the question that arises is, how do chatbots add value to a business? I don't want to share numbers to prove the benefits of having a bot, but I would like to narrate the case of a growing fintech startup based out of India. A fintech startup with a rapidly growing user base was faced with a 2-pronged customer support issue. As their user base grew, the customer support team started to get more and more queries, more simple ones, and they were more repetitive and consume a lot of time from the support team. As a user's perspective, the response time of the support team was anywhere between 24 to 48 hours, which is not an ideal experience for both the support team as well as a user. To solve this issue, the startup wanted to integrate a chatbot into their app that would allow user to raise queries on some functionality. We have helped them build and integrate a custom bot that uses both rule-based as well as conventional functionalities built from scratch to address customer issues. Lastly, how did this bot help them? It reduced the ticket count of the support team received by 80%. Also, the cost required was reduced by 30%. and improve the response time of the users. So do you think this is a compelling case to invest in a chatbot? If you would like to know more about the technical architecture or the components involved in building the bot, write to us at social@91social.com and we would be very happy to share the resources with you.